Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and thank you guys come back to my channel. Now I know I'm a little late on this subject, and that's just because I was trying to perfect it, and then I just ran out of time, and then I was gonna do it in the morning, then I ran out of time. I had to go buy a car because I was in a car accident, but you guys don't really care about that, so let me just go ahead and get into today's video. But before I continue, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. I really have a huge problem right now. 70% of you are not subscribed, and if more of you subscribe, then I'll change it to 69%, and we need to be 69% for some reason. I don't know. It's a weird number. Don't know why people like it. It's weird. But thank you regardless if you do subscribe. I hope you enjoyed my joke. It's funny, haha. But anyways, let's get into the video. Now I was going to post this on the day of the patch, but I came home late and I saw that someone else posted it. Kind of demotivated me, but of course other people would think of the idea. It's not really that big of an idea, but basically the cheese is, you know how you can do the AFK forges. So basically what you want to do is, just for the short rundown, just for the people who basically know how to do this already, is that you just want to go ahead and download Remote Play, and then once you download Remote Play, then you want to download the PS4 macro, then you launch the Remote Play, then once you launch the Remote Play, then you record the macro and stuff like that. But if you don't know how to do the macro stuff or anything like that, then I'll just go ahead and explain that in this video right now. So one other trick you can use is that the fact that you can make it so that you're not matchmaking. Now, I was looking at these videos, and the AFK videos, you have to get below 750 light, and some people don't have the collection items, and some people haven't been playing long enough to get the collection items that have 0 light. And if you don't have those items and you're trying to get below 750 like I was trying to do, and you can't do it because you don't have the item in the collection to actually redeem it, and you want to still do the glitch and not get affected by other players, then you need to make it so you get no matchmaking. There's a way to do it on PC. Cheese Forever has a video on that, but he also had a video on how to, make it so there's no matchmaking, so big shout out for him. So all you have to do is just change your date and time on your console. So first off, you want to go to your settings, then you want to go ahead and go over to date and time and change it back in time, not forward, back in time. So just go to January. Then once you change it to January, then you can go ahead and wait in orbit for a bit, and then just go to patrol. And then once you go to patrol, you should see that no one is on the roster. And then once no one's on the roster, then you can go ahead and play Forge, and you can do it without playing with other players. And this way you're not affecting anyone else's gaming experience at all. And this way no one can report you as well, because people will might report you and you might get banned. But with this, there's literally no way in hell they're gonna ban you. At least from my knowledge, at least seems like that they don't really ban cheaters and Osiris. So I guess this, I really don't see how they could detect that you're just playing a whole bunch of forges and sitting there doing nothing. I don't see how they could detect that you're actually doing this. Maybe they'll actually put in a smart patch, but I kind of doubt it. So once you've got the no matchmaking thing, then you need to record the macro. So to start off, you want to do the no matchmaking glitch, and to make sure it works, you can just go to patrol and see that no one is in the roster. So all you gotta do, just to recap, is just go to your settings, go to date and time, and just set it in the past, like January. But once you've done that and there's no one in the roster, then you want to go ahead and return to orbit. Once you're at orbit, then you want to go ahead and make sure that in your PlayStation on the settings that Remote Play is enabled. And then you want to go ahead and go to your PC, launch up Remote Play. You might have to sign in to your PSN network. Once you launch up Remote Play, you'll have to plug in your controller using the cable, and you'll be able to go through the process of remote playing your PS4. Then once you're actually finally remote playing your PS4, then what you want to go ahead and do is download the macro file. And once you've downloaded the macro file, be in your downloads or in like your desktop, and you want to go ahead and open up that file and then look for the macro icon and just double click on that macro icon. It'll have an icon of its own. It'll be like a circle. Double click it, you open it, then the macro itself will open up. Then once the macro itself actually opens up, what you want to do to actually use the macro is to hit the play button. Then once you hit the play button, then you want to go ahead and hit the circle button, which is the record button, and you'll notice that it will turn red. And then once it turns red, you are recording, and on the bottom you should see the numbers moving like super fast. Now, I do have an issue with this macro sometimes where the numbers aren't moving super fast. They're like very sluggish, and for some reason it does that sometimes. I usually just restart my computer, and then once I restart my computer, then it's not actually sluggish. I start up remote play, and then I start up the macro again. But if you don't have that problem, then don't worry about it. Just make sure that the numbers on the bottom are going super fast. You also could just try to close the macro and just reopen it and make sure that the numbers are moving fast. Once the numbers are moving fast and you're actually recording, then you want to make sure that your cursor is in the middle of the screen where it is set defaultly. So all you have to do to reset it if you accidentally moved it is just go ahead and go to patrol and then return to orbit and make sure that the cursor is in the middle of the screen. Then once the cursor is in the middle of the screen, then you're recording, and once you're recording, then you want to go ahead and move your cursor down to open directory. Then you want to go ahead and go to Earth. Then you want to go over to the Forge. Then once you go over to the Forge, you want to go over to Launch. And then once you go to Launch, then you'll matchmake. Then after you matchmake, then after a while, it'll launch the game. Then once you launch the game and you're actually in the game, then you could, program it to shoot a little bit, throw some grenades, fire, hit square to respawn, but you don't necessarily have to. I just do it just because I can. And then after that, after a while, the forge will end. Then once the forge ends, you have a chance of getting an engram, and then once it's in space again, wait about 15 seconds. Then once you wait about 15 seconds, then you want to go ahead and hit the record button again, and it'll turn black, and then the numbers will start from the beginning, and it will loop everything that you just did, and it'll just keep looping over and over again, and you could just go AFK and do whatever you want. Now, what you can do after you're done with that is you can hit file and then save as, and then save it in a file. You know where it's going to be. Name it like Destiny 2 farming, whatever you want to name it. And then you just got to open that file every time instead of recording a new macro. And every time that you want to do this, you just go AFK and wake up in the morning, and boom, you got some engrams. Sorry it took so long to explain. If you want to actually see me doing it on the PC, then let me know. If this is a good enough, tutorial without actually seeing it, then just let me know. But I'm pretty sure this is pretty self-explanatory. It's not too hard to actually do. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I lost 20,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.